So James Cameron was walking out of a building, and he decided to give the middle finger to autograph seekers, right? He must be coping slightly with the fact that Avatar: The Way of Water opened to $434 million worldwide. It was predicted to make about $525 million. It opened to $134 million domestically. It was predicted at $175 to $200 million. So it came in under its number. Now, the funny thing about this is I like the movie. I thought it was a good movie. I think it's actually worth seeing, especially if you've got a family and you're looking for a way to kill 3 hours. If if you've got kids that can sit still for that long,
that's rare.
That is a rare thing. I enjoyed the movie, and I thought it was quite good, at least in the context that it takes the CGI fest that we're used to, and at least layers in a little bit of decent social commentary that's done in a way that's not completely over the top, and part of themes that we don't normally hear much about these days, which are family positive themes, unless you're watching the Hallmark Channel.
Do you have to watch the first one to like it?
No.
I don't think you have to watch the first one to like it, but you might be confused about certain aspects of it.
Certain things wouldn't make it, but it's like it doesn't take away from your enjoyment of the movie. And visually,
still been many years since I watched the first one last, so you don't need to rewatch it, even though they did re-release it before.
So James Cameron was leaving the Writers Guild of America building in
kind of sussy, right? As they're about to strike.
What was he doing? Was he there to advocate on their behalf, or was he like is it part of a secret cabal that he wants to stop them from not going on strike? He went there to sabotage the talks.
Yeah. So maybe. All of these people out there were looking for pictures and autographs, and then he flips the bird at the camera or at the fans. It's video. Unclear. Let's look.
They're booing him.
Boom.
Fuck Avatar.
Is it people from the Writers Guild?
It's people striking because
people from the Writers Guild though?
so they're striking, but
why was he at the building then? That's what I'm wondering. Who is he meeting with?
See, we need that movie.
We need the inside info.
I want that documentary. I don't give a crap about the Fabelmans.
Where are the anonymous sources when you need them, right? So he gives them the middle finger, which kind of makes him seem like he's seething, and he's not able to take the heat.
That was a very unique cuss word that person gave that I shan't repeat on air.
I didn't hear it.
Oh, well,
I mean, maybe we shouldn't play it again if it's too spicy for YouTube. But he feigns this ballsy attitude, he's so confident in the success of Avatar 2 that he doesn't care what you think about Avatar 2. He knows you'll watch it. He doesn't need to show respect to the viewers or to his own fan base or to people who criticize him. But really, this kind of betrays he's kind of bitter. He's realizing that maybe he is getting called on his bluff about the 2 billion benchmark to break even. So you say that they're necessarily gonna force this to 2 billion no matter what.
Well, the first Avatar,
they're just gonna keep releasing it over and over until they reach the number.
The first Avatar got many re-releases that helped it get to the number it got to. Also, this movie has the
but
benefit.
It had critical acclaim.
This one has more fan acclaim than critical acclaim, and that should be better.
The critics were also going crazy for it. It was all positive from what I saw.
In the fans seem to like this more than the critics, and let's face it, critics' opinions mean literally nothing in 2022. This movie needs extremely long legs to make $2 billion. But here's the thing: the first Avatar made, I think, 70% of its money overseas. So this movie making $134 million domestically isn't really a huge fail.
I find it kind of confusing that both the first Avatar and this one have winter releases.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars became a winter release haven too.
But wouldn't you think from just the theme of it that it would be a summer release?
Yeah,
I don't know. And then it would make it easier for full families to go see it when it came out on a weekday. I don't really get the vision here, other than that he just thinks every living, breathing person on the globe is going to watch this 5 times, which is delusional. I mean, I feel like it's the same as Rings of Power. They say this is going to be successful because it has to be successful, and we're going to AstroTurf it all the way there. Yeah. And because we're in a post-profit age, which we keep saying, it means that these films are more like money laundering schemes than entertainment at this point.
The movie said, I saw something that said that it could make 1.5 billion if it has like extremely long legs. It pulled in 50 something million from China, but
it needs two.
Needs to make supposedly two to break even. But like, here's the thing, like,
jeez.
China box office making 50 something million, even if that's good, doesn't really matter, because in America you keep 60% of the box office profits. In China you keep less than that. You only keep 25%, and the Communist Party keeps the other 75. So they're not really taking home that much there. So it needs very, very low week to week drops, meaning like it can't have 60% drops from week 1 to week 2. It needs to be in the 40s. It needs to be in the like.
We'll see by the end of this week then.
I'm guessing the first week will be a 50%. Like usually 50% is pretty standard. Like you're going to get a 50% drop from week 1 to week 2. But after that, it needs Top Gun Maverick level drops of like 20 to 30% at most. If it's going to get to $2 billion. And I just don't think that that's really plausible. Plus, 62% of the screenings were in premium formats like IMAX and 3D. That helps because you pay more to see IMAX and 3D. So if those numbers continue high and they're getting higher ends on
I'm not sure about that, because 3D was a huge part of the hype for the first one because it was this new technology that they implemented, and now that it's older, I don't know if that many people care about that aspect of it anymore.
62% of the tickets sold in the first week were 3D. Were 3D and IMAX.
Who goes to see 3D movies anymore? I don't even see it on offer that often anymore.
They make me dizzy.
I didn't
see it for Jurassic World Dominion even.
I didn't see a breakdown of which amount of that was IMAX and which amount of that was 3D. I just know that they said premium formats. But people go see IMAX. People love IMAX movies. That's what the whole point. Did you guys watch the trailer for Oppenheimer?
I did.
Like it's like that's going to be meant to be seen in IMAX. Like to see that explosion, however he recreates it, will be meant to see.
He'll recreate it by just nuking the entire Earth.
There's a great meme. It says it's the picture of the headline. It says to Christopher Nolan recreates nuclear explosion for Oppenheimer. It says the cameraman is just a guy with no face and holding a camera because he got blown up by a nuclear explosion. So
I want to read some of these responses. One person said that this is the best thing James Cameron has done since Terminator 2.
The movie, or him flipping off?
The people. Another person said Hollywood hates you. They want your money.
Yep.
And
not
Tom
Cruise.
Said,
Tom Cruise loves you and wants your money.
Other people were in support of it. They said it was based, and they said respect to this man. Clearly, they are fake fans that just wanted his autograph to sell it online.
Wait. So this just in, guys. James Cameron, anti-union. James Cameron does not want unions. James Cameron is for the man.
I just can't tell if he's based or if he's a pretentious a-hole, but...
He's a pretentious a-hole.
Can you be both?
Is it possible to be both?
You could possibly be both. But he's pretentious. Maybe it's just all those high levels of testosterone coursing through his system that he's having trouble controlling.
He makes... This is what I've said. He makes all the rash decisions that someone who's in the middle of roid rage would make, but without the muscles to back it up. And he has none of the testosterone.
Maybe he's, maybe he's using drugs and he's going to...
He's like high school girl petty, though.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, I saw some comments that were saying, I'm not going to watch Avatar 2 simply because of what he said about testosterone being a toxin that needs to be removed from the body.
Yeah.
That was a pretty ridiculous comment he made, and we did, clown on him for it. But we still watched the movie, and I don't think that some one-off comment that an annoying, pretentious director... makes should dictate whether you watch what they put out or not.
You could miss out on something.
Yeah, I think you could accidentally miss out on a good movie.
And I'd like to think
by listening to their stupid interview sound bites.
So it's got a 94% still an audience score. That's very, very high. I remember when we covered it on the Thursday night previews, we talked about how it had a 94% audience score. So that makes sense. It's Thursday night. Anybody who's going to see it is either us or a diehard Avatar fan. We are not, but the average person who's going to see it for Thursday nights would be a diehard Avatar fan. But it's sitting at 78% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics. The audience likes it better than the critics do. So it needs the legs that come with the movie with high audience score.
Scores mean nothing to me after Black Adam got 90 something. They literally.
Yeah,
nothing.
the difference between the audience and critic score for Black Adam didn't signify that Black Adam was good for me, because
it should never.
I think that just shows how low the standards for audience has gotten. our standards are that low that something like Black Adam would get in the 90s. Like, that's crazy to me. It wasn't good.
Let me muscle up and defend this movie again.
Go ahead.
Why, though? Like, what is there to defend?
I mean,
The Rock's ego?
Because it's got Sarah Shahi in it. And that
can be
automatically makes it a 94.
Again, it can be good, but is it exceptional? Is it,
Is it a 90
a film for the
something?
ages?
It's not a 90-something. It's not even an 80-something. Actually, I'm surprised by the critics' score for Avatar 2 because I saw only positive things from critics when we were looking at early like preview releases.
So what are they saying? They're saying like it's got strong environmental message, but not strong enough. It needs to talk more about climate change
and the whales.
And the whale. Oh, the poor whales. That speak like professors rather than.
I cannot get the scene out of my mind where they zoomed in on the whale's eye staring at Loak, and it goes, "It's too painful." Like, I couldn't take that scene seriously. It's a talking whale. It's a
You're whalist. That's what you are. You're anti-whale.
It's a psychic whale.
What they should have done is they should have gotten Brendan Fraser to play the whale, and then they could have cross-promoted with his movie coming out called The Whale.
Amazing.
And then he could, where he's like, he plays a fat guy in a movie, and then he also plays a whale. That'd be perfect.
Avatar 2 Whale Tail.
That would, let's go. So what do you think James Cameron, so if he's got to make, if he's already got his 9-hour cut of Avatar 3 that he's working on, and he apparently hates everyone because he's making them animate the entire movie.
His $600 million budget comes from choices like that.
Yes.
Making editors work on 9 hours of uncut footage until it's completely.
One day his house is going to get egged. He's going to be like, I have no idea why this is happening.
He just like screwed over generations under these CGI programmers.
All of this, and he could have been making Terminator 3 like without like Dark Fate. Like we clowned on him. I mean, I clowned on him making being part of a horrible movie like Dark Fate. But he could be making Terminator. He could be making a bunch of different stuff. It's just weird that Avatar is the hill you go on to die. And I like the movie. I just don't know if that's it just seems like in a world where so much CGI is in every movie, it feels like he would have been better. Like, I would like to see his type of storytelling done with live action stuff more than photorealistic CGI.
I've never seen Terminator.
Really?
We're going to fix that for you when you get back from out of town. We'll watch Terminator.
A lot of people said, like, where's the James Cameron that did Alien?
Well,
or that pitched the sequel by writing Alien on a chalkboard and then putting a dollar sign at the end.
That's a story for
where did that guy go?
Where he wrote it and that was like his pitch to the theater. He really does want this image. He really does want this image of being some type of like alpha male. I control the studio guy.
Yeah, he wants to be mythologized.
But he looks like a high school English professor.
Yeah, but he looks like a vegan.
Yeah. So it's like money. I remember that's funny. I didn't read whatever you were talking about, but I remember that story about him like, that's my pitch. And then
it's part of like pop culture mythology that he is like this ballsy director that has the big blockbuster films.
As you get older, he's older now. He's not who he was. Like nobody's who they were in the 80s. My money.
I'm certainly not who I was in the 80s.
That is very true. You were but a gleam in the eye of two people in the 80s. Like people change. Like I get it. It's kind of like people rag on Eminem because he made like his anti-Trump song.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny to me, by the way, that Eminem turned into like
a corporate show.
A neoliberal with the same politics as like Nancy Pelosi.
If you guys want to hear,
good job, dude.
Listen to the song "We as Americans" by Eminem. It's literally a constitutionalist manifesto.
Such a good song, by the way.
On American gun rights and your ability to defend yourself. how he went from that to a neoliberal who believes in gun control
to awfully hot coffee pot. How he went from "We as Americans" to awfully hot coffee pot. I will never understand, but please never let that happen to me.
You can't. Have you ever seen the guy on TikTok who does like the Eminem impression?
No.
It's like, oh my God. He's like, he looks kind of like him too, in that he's tall and he wears like black wind pants and a hoodie.
The Steven Crowder bit was pretty funny. Where he was like, it was an awfully hot coffee pot. And then he just goes to like the manager's like, hey,
Should I drop it on Donald Trump? Probably not.
It's not working. No one's saying anything.
I will never forget that. That was like a moment in culture time. like
you
forever enshrined as that in my mind. You ruined everything that was Eminem.
You can't rhyme with orange, but you can rhyme with orange. Like, yeah, Eminem is kind of and it's funny too, because he's one of those people, like, we're getting off subject here, but I was thinking about the other day how many good albums he actually had. Like, he was not a one-hit wonder.
No.
Like, his first 4 albums were all really, really good.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, but it's like you eventually will become your dad. And you just happen to do it as you just happen. Well, because if you don't, then you become cringe for trying to be young. So it's very hard to evolve and become cool and older while not being, when you were already
maybe
established.
just don't be Trump deranged. That would be enough for me.
If you establish,
you don't have to be cool. You just have to not be like actively lame.
It would be very hard if you're somebody like an Eminem or a very successful James Cameron, where when you're younger, you're cool for specific reasons, to then reinvent yourself and be cool for other reasons as you get older. That is a very, very hard thing for somebody to do. But
someone said M was always a plant. Eminem, the classic sellout.
But I don't blame somebody for making their money. If we're talking sellout, meaning that he made a lot of money, like that doesn't bother me.
Shout outs to Contrarian Dasovic making a guest appearance.
I'm always the.
Well, he made his
I'm
money.
not even a contrarian, dude. I'm not even.
The thing he did is he made his money and his name off of being this controversial, provocateur artist, and then used it to get clout with
Colin
suits.
Kaepernick.
With Colin Kaepernick, with like all of the establishment blue checks, basically.
But he was always kind of like, think about the song "White America."
That was such a good song, by the way.
So like, you weren't even you couldn't even understand the cultural relevance of that song because you were not alive at the time where everybody wore really long white tees and dyed their hair blonde. And
wasn't that song about like Columbine or something?
I mean, he had a lot of music that spoke to, like, Drug Ballad is one of my favorite songs of all time, and it's an objectively it's a horrible message to send to people. All of the songs from the Marshall Mathers LP and the Slim Shady LP are not guidelines.
Well, that's
for how
before
to live your
people were judged on the message and they were judged on the art.
Yep. Well, James Cameron, I'd like to think that James Cameron is being judged on the art right now, not his dorky comments about testosterone. Let's face it, guys, if you're watching this show, you're more in tune to what's going on with pop culture behind the scenes, or at least if you're watching us, you're listening to us be more like have to read this stuff and then not die of cringe after we read these things from James Cameron. The average moviegoer just goes, ooh, look, blue people.
Yeah, they've never heard of James Cameron, possibly.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But I do recommend, I will say again, guys, if you haven't gone to see it, and if the comments about testosterone being bad don't hurt you with enough cringe to knock you over, I do think you would enjoy going to see the movie. I had a good time with it. So. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.